Medical Intuitive Insights with your host, Dr. Gloria Warren, is a program that presents topics on medical intuition, holistic opportunities outside of mainstream society, and scientific research as applied today. Topics range from online intuitive readings to interviews unveiling alternative healing modalities and discussing them with inspirational leaders. Dr. Warren is the bridge within holistic arts while stressing the balance between the spiritual and physical self. So now, please welcome the host of Medical Intuitive Insights, Dr. Gloria Warren.
Welcome. Attention deficit disorder, perhaps with hyperactivity disorder, or you or your family member feel lost and don't quite understand what's happening when they're diagnosed, or anyone in your family with ADD, attention deficit disorder. Well, you're here today, and well, we're here to help, obviously. We have Jeanie and our expert coach Mike to provide insights with the pros and cons of attention deficit disorder. We welcome any live questions. Just remember, though, you are the star of the show today. So if you have a question, comment, you can write it in the comments or go ahead and text me at 715-892-7500. Hello, I'm your host, Dr. Gloria C. Warren, and you are watching Medical Intuitive Insights, where science meets soul. We're here today to explore the possibilities for diagnosis of attention deficit disorder, commonly known as ADD. Is it a curse or perhaps a blessing? First, please welcome to our show and co-host today, Coach Mike, and our patient, Jeanie. We are here today to assist you, our viewers, and increase your power, energy, and self-sustainability through the understanding the positive truths to this negative societal label. Now, let's meet our star patient, Jeanie. Hello, Jeanie.
Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Hi. Well, I'm so grateful you could join us today. And are you ready for a mini medical intuitive reading today?
I'm super, super excited. Yes. And
You're excited?
it's funny because my anxiety is like through the roof right now, and I can feel my ADHD. It's probably going to like shut down the computer. So you'll probably have a good read.
You have that power. Absolutely.
I know.
Um,
Trust me, I know.
yeah. So instead of a written HIPAA release form that you usually sign at any doctor's office, we're just going to do a quick verbal release form. Is that all right with you, Jeanie?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so therefore, Jeanie, do you grant your permission for us to do a mini medical intuitive reading right here on the show, which will be on the internet for public viewing for many years to come?
Yes, just make me look good.
Okay, we don't do too much that's really private on this show, but if you want to speak to me after, you're more than welcome to give me a call
I'm
and
just kidding.
we can maybe
Fine.
go more into detail. Okay, so a mini medical intuitive reading, just for our public's knowledge, mini medical intuitive reading only takes 10 to 15 minutes. I do also what they call the blasting or the flash readings. They only take 5 minutes and they're great for parties, let me tell you. I had Jeanie send me photos of her face, feet, both sides of her hands, and her body, clothed, of course. Furthermore, normally I do not want to know anything wrong with a patient before I do a reading. In Jeannie's case, though, I did know that she has attention deficit disorder diagnosis. So we added it to the label, to the title of the show, so people can find us and if they need help. And you as a viewer, of course, if you know somebody that needs help, please pass on this video because trust me, I think Coach Mike is really going to shed a lot of light on this diagnosis. Okay. So we'll take a commercial break, hear from our sponsors. You're watching Medical Intuitive Insights. I'm your host, Dr. Gloria Warren. And you won't want to miss Jeannie's mini reading. So stay right there. We'll be right back.
Mike Zorek, a three-time California state champion in Greco-Roman wrestling at 114 pounds. Mike, blind since birth, was born in Hartford, Connecticut. He was a 6-time national placer, including 2 seconds, 2 thirds, and 2 fourths. He also won the Veterans Folk-Style Wrestling twice at 152 pounds. In all these tournaments, he was the only blind competitor. Nancy Zoric, a creative spirit whose talents have taken her to the stage and into galleries and exhibitions in several states. Her father, a commercial artist who shared his instruments with his daughter and helped her fine-tune her natural abilities, influenced her decision to follow in his footsteps. Ms. Zoric has enjoyed a fruitful career doing what she loves. Listen Saturday mornings at 12 Eastern for the Nancy and Mike Show for heartwarming stories and interesting talk.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent, but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of the Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on the Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
Welcome back. We're here with Jeanie, our patient today, and we're going to do a mini medical intuitive reading on Jeanie. And of course, I had the delightful experience of already starting because everyone knows that a mini medical and reading is only about anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes, and we don't have that kind of time on this show. So, Jeanie, are you ready?
I'm
Ready
ready.
as can be. Ready as can be. So before the show, she sent me pictures of her hands, both sides, the top of her feet, and I think you also gave me the bottom of your feet. Thank you. And
Definitely gave you the bottom of my feet.
yeah, the front of her body. She didn't get to the back, but that's okay. I could see through, and I could see a lot to do with her spine as well. So, and her hands, both sides, and her face. So, we are first. I want to have you turn to the side, your face to the side. Go to your left side with your nose, and hold it there 1 second. Push your head back a little. Push your head back. Yeah, because I can't see you. You're out of frame. That's good. Okay, that's good. All right. Now turn to the other side. Well, thank you very much. And chin down. Chin down. Good. Okay. So I definitely could see why they would say attention deficit disorder. I am seeing a few areas of some damage on the surface of your brain, frontal cortex, and on the sides above your ear. We'll talk about that later if you like. That's not really what the problem is here today. More about the attention deficit we're going to go into. And first, I will do the broad medical intuitive reading, going over your body and everything else. So yes, because she gave me photos, I can actually pull it up and look at it. So I found a few areas four areas that I think I really want to mention to you. Let's start with your feet, foot inside. There's some tendons, and I listed the specific tendons that are damaged, and tendonitis coming with that, as well as some bone displacement, and not just the right foot inside of the right foot, but up in the ankle as well. I found on the top of the foot, I found swelling. First of all, did you drop anything on your foot recently? No. Okay. So that I didn't think so, but I had to check, there is
Actually, no, someone dropped a water bottle on my toe, and it was ice. It was covered. It was they had frozen water in a water bottle and dropped it on my toe. So yes, yes,
oh, that had to hurt. But,
it was
um,
awful, and it was like one of those situations I was like, it's fine, and it wasn't. It hurt.
right. Now I noticed you have a couple abrasions on the top of your feet. Was that from your shoes?
Yes, that was from very fancy shoes. Yeah.
Just had to wear them, didn't you?
We were
I
shopping
know.
on
You
Michigan
just have to do
Avenue.
it. I get it. I get it. I'm a woman. I get it. So, anyways, there's a few things wrong on your left foot, but the right foot really has cause of concern. I'm sure there's things you already know about, the sides of your feet and the width of your feet and why it's like that. I think you already know a lot about these tendons and the swellings that I'm seeing. So we're going to skip over that for now because I want to see if I can find things you don't know. By the way, your right leg, the joint, you have a little bone on bone. You're pushing your legs and knee back too far, and never straighten your legs completely. Never pop them back. Yeah, it looks like you were standing there and your leg was pushed all the way back. Women's joints can sometimes go backwards. I know that
I'm
sounds
a
weird.
marathon I'm a marathon runner, so I've had a lot of issues.
Yeah, well, that's the knee is probably part of that, I'm sure. So, you really need to take care of your feet. Uh, After all, what are we without our feet and can get around like that with your children and everything? So, I know you probably appreciate the running, but you also need to take care of your feet, baby your feet, pamper your feet, massage your feet, deep tissue massage your feet, heat, ice, whatever you need. Just make sure they stay healthy. Okay. Um,
Mhm.
let's see here. Yeah, I got the right foot, feet swelling both sides. Well, that would explain the swelling on both sides. Right foot's really bad though compared to your left. Left lung. There's some left lung compression. Rib cage is coming down on your lung. Your shoulders drop down as well, and it's pushing down on your left lung. Um, Deep breathing, lifting your arms over your head to straighten out that lung so you can force extra air in it. Uh, to your right lung looks great. The left lung, though, is minimized. So you want to expand it further, especially if you're a marathon runner. I know that sounds
Yeah.
strange. As a runner, you can also still have a problem. Scoliosis,
I
20% of your spine. Your spine is leaning at the base of your neck, it's leaning to the right. In the center of your torso, your thoracic spine is leaning towards the left. And as you get to your lumbar spine, it leans back to the right again. So this could be from running. It could be from the jolting up and down. I have a feeling, though, you've had a problem for a long, long time with this. It's not something new.
Yes, you are correct.
So you need to hang with your arms straight up. I put a bar over one of your doorways, hang from it, shake your spine out, and get that pull your. It's like self traction. Get that weight to pull your spine down and straighten it out and stand right back up very slowly so it stays in place. And go about your business, but try to leave it like that as long as possible. Usually, when you first get up in the morning or before you go to bed is a good time too, because then it has a little healing time in there, which is always good. I see when we went to the foot, we got the ankle. I see a lot of circulation difficulties in your hands, and some of your capillary structures are shutting down. I'm seeing some bluing or mottling, whatever you want to call it. So, this is a concern to me if you are a marathon runner. It may actually help keep some of the circulation throughout your body, your torso, your legs, but you're losing circulation in your hands. That's long term to get to this point. Your capillaries are shutting down your fingers. So you may want to periodically put your hands in real hot water, not too hot, of course, but to dilate the blood vessels from time to time. When you're washing dishes, just soak them in hot water for a minute, just to dilate them. Also, you should add some bone broth to your diet so that your vascular system has the necessary nutrients in your bloodstream so that they continue to be healthy because your vascular system, not just in your hands, are having a few issues with the thickness of the vascular walls. Make sure to stay hydrated, not just with water. Water won't stay in your body without enough electrolytes. So make sure to rehydrate with electrolytes, especially in your situation. Um, I am a little concerned too. I'm seeing a little bit of dermatitis on the top of your fingers. Where the little hairs grow type towards the top, not the knuckle. Are you getting any itching on your hands?
Not really.
No. Okay.
Mm-mm.
Um,
They're dry. I have to use lotion, but nothing crazy.
just use a little Vaseline or something. Don't use lotion that has chemicals in it. Okay.
Hmm.
Just use something very natural and rub it in. Um, I see a very sensitive digestive system, but you're taking care of yourself like that, I think. I think you're eating right and all of that. So I'm going to pass that up for now. But anyways, do you have any questions?
Um, as far as the ADHD, where
Mhm.
you were meant my prefrontal cortex and the damage to that. I was actually hoping to speak more on what you saw there and what actually the damages and what I'm in nursing, so I understand a lot of that. So I'm just interested in knowing where that damage comes from and if there is anything um that can be done with that or what that means as far as me and my mental stability.
Okay, I'll give you a little tip. When you're sitting down, you ever stand up. Always lead with your chest, taking in a breath as you're standing. Okay. Every fraction of every second that your brain does not have oxygen, brain cells die. So you want to kind of keep up the healthy tissue in your brain itself. I feel intuitively that you actually hit your head on the side, on your left side. I see also perhaps even on the right side at some time when you were a kid. I'm seeing areas that are slight surface areas that are damaged. Uh, can you get rid of that? Yes, you can. You can
What does
rejuvenate
that
brain
mean though
cells.
when they're what does it mean though to say they're damaged? Like what does that
It
like the
looked like
neurons are damaged?
the vascular system had been disrupted. Um, I'm
Like I was
thinking
hit?
an injury on this, more of an injury with this. You can reverse that. I'll talk to you how later on. It's with uh, minerals like shilajit and I know they say sea moss, but no, not the regular sea moss that you're seeing all over the place right now. What you need is that ancient fossilized sea moss. It's black and you can get it online. I'll tell you how to get it online. Um, but you also need to invert. Your brain, I think, is starving for oxygen sometimes. And if you increase that left lungs capacity, it'll help with the oxygen in your brain and also inverting, just hanging your head with face down over the side of your bed for a minute before you get up in the morning and make sure that you relax before you actually stand up after that. Um, there's these kung fu exercises that you can do too for your brain and attention and all of that help. But I think in your situation, I think when we talk to Coach Mike, I think we're going to get a lot of enlightenment. So I'm going to do that if that's all right with you. Let's bring on Coach Mike. He's wonderful. I just unbelievable. What?
Hi.
Hello again.
I'm trying to escape the wind. If you see me moving, it's not ADHD. It's me literally trying to have respect for your show and not make it sound awful from all of this beautiful breeze that isn't good for a live show. But go for it. Sorry.
Yeah,
Fine.
yeah. Well, so Coach Mike, by the way, we're blessed that you could join us today. I'm so
Thank
happy
you
that,
very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
and I am very, very fortunate that you're going to be empowering us on Jeannie's situation and diagnosis. So, what is your overview of her diagnosis of the attention deficit disorder?
Well, first of all, the idea that anyone owns a deficit is not very calming and it's not very comforting, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
My first suggestion is that you take a look at that label and make a choice for yourself as to whether or not it's an accurate label. Many of us jump right into accepting labels that are placed on us, even if they don't fit. So, what happens in the case of many, like myself and some of my children, that label is more damaging and can cause more of the effects that you're worried about than if you didn't have that label. When we pay attention to more than one thing at the same time, that's actually a sign of heightened acuity. So, if
Mm.
anything, I would start with um, getting rid of the old label and calling it more like what it is. Many of us have a heightened acuity and sensory um, ability than
Mm.
uh, than a disorder or a deficit. So,
Mhm.
number one, just chuck the old label.
I was
Okay.
just going to ask you, what about attention deficit versus acuity? And you just answered that one. Fantastic.
Yeah, but you know, and it happens all the time. In my work, I'm always asking people to replace what they don't want, their biggest fear, with what they want instead. And oftentimes people don't really know that what they want, so they're plagued by the fear of what they're afraid of. And that's
Mhm.
what's going to come into fruition. The more you realize what you want and are more definite in your purpose, the more of it you'll see in your life. When you walk around owning a label, guess what's going to happen? You're going to act like the label you're owning.
Mm.
So I would never tell anyone I have this or that. Just like with any disease, I don't tell people I have it because I'm not owning any of that.
I
What
feel
I
though as if I feel though as if though like I can hear myself when I'm like jumping around and just speaking fast and looking at other things and changing the subject and thinking. I feel like I need to tell people so that they don't think I'm crazy, that and then they'll go, "Oh, okay." And it's like a relief to them. And I don't know, there's a butterfly. My mom's dead and she's a butterfly. So yeah, and I'm not crazy by the way. Anyway,
I
no, I just feel like
you're
I
welcome
feel
to
like
the
I say
club
it so
You're
because
that
there
right
they
are
there with
many
know,
of
you.
us like that.
yeah, like, people are like,
But
"Oh,"
you
like, it's
know,
almost like they're relieved to know that I'm not, like, I don't know, a crazy lady, that I just have this thing that everyone knows about, and they're like, "Oh, okay," like, and then they, like, pet me, like, and they feel bad for me, and then they're, like, nice to me then, I don't know. Like, I feel like that's
you know,
more that.
yeah. And you know, I tell people I have a lot of friends that think they have ADD or ADHD, and I'll ask them a question. Would you consider, are you more like a hummingbird or a dragonfly or a butterfly? These are all creatures that don't stay put. They're always
Mm,
going from one place to the other, and they're hard to catch. And, you know,
interesting.
once people recognize that it's in their nature to be that way, the expectations all of a sudden become more realistic. When they
Mhm.
know your nature, if you saw a hummingbird sitting still, you'd wonder what's wrong with it because it's in its nature to be moving all the time. The same with the dragonfly or any other creature that is always moving around. When people once people get to know you and understand who you are, they begin to become they get more intrigued with trying to understand more about you. How are you the way you are, as opposed to what's wrong with you?
Yeah, that's
So
accurate.
in our conversation, one of the things that we can do is allow people to notice on their own our nature and how we are.
Mhm.
What's going to happen? They're going to begin to
Well,
mimic.
it I'm sorry to interrupt, but it's like the people pleasing, right?
Yes, that's it. And you know, what we sacrifice when we people please is very, very important elements of who we are, important elements of our gift to the world. You, in your own nature, in your own habitat, in your own space, have wonderful gifts that nobody else can provide to the world. And those gifts come from your unique experience, the way you perceived what was going on as you were growing up, the meaning that you gave the things that were happening to you at the time. and the choices that you make today because of that.
That sounds
Does that
like
make
the
sense?
victim and communication type of things.
I'm trying
That,
like not to cry right now
yeah.
You
because
can
it's a
cry.
huge part of I mean, I'm just saying like it's a huge part of my trauma. And I'm just like, I mean, I just like it's like constantly like it's like a weird feeling because I feel I said people always say like, "Oh, you're so strong," and I told someone, my therapist, I said, "I don't feel strong. I just feel like I keep going." And she's like, "I wouldn't say you're strong. I would just say you're someone that never gives up." But at the same time, part of that is a lot of people pleasing and a lot of like, I just am so scared to not have that because of what I've been through.
I understand. That's totally understandable. The gift that you have as a result of what you've been dealt is an ongoing resilience. It doesn't necessarily show up as strength. It shows up as an ability to withstand something and eventually overcome it. When strong people present themselves, sometimes they have to use force, they have to use, brute force to get through things. But you as a sensitive person are resilient because you take ownership of your ability to let people into your world. When people come into your world, they're not always polite. They're not always um, respectful of your space and your heart and mind space. Um, so what needs to happen? We need to make an assessment when we meet a new person. Can I afford to be in this person's space, or can I afford to allow this person into my space? And if you know at that very moment that it's not safe to do so, you'll find a very polite, a very kind way of extracting yourself. And
Can I
that's
ask you
something
a
that we all
question?
have to do.
Can I ask you a question? And I think this is probably a question for a lot of people. Why is it that when we do meet those people that it is sometimes very important to gain their approval and to gain them to want them to understand you because they seem like they are stronger than you or bigger than you in some sort of way, and I need you to get me and I need you to like me? What is that then? Because I have that feeling when I meet people where I'm like, this person probably isn't a good boundary for me because I can feel it and I know it, but at the same time wanting them, once they approve of you, all of that other stuff is can go away.
Right.
Mike,
It's like,
Mike, don't answer yet. We're going to take a commercial break. They're cueing me. So stay right there, everybody. You won't want to miss it. Mike is going to answer Janine's question here. You won't want to miss it. We'll be right back.
Master of words, powerful player. What life-changing words can Dr. Janet Smith Warfield pull out of her magical toolbox that just might mysteriously open a door you never knew was there? A door to free yourself from fear forever. Transform your rage into right action. Release your guilt. Position you into a life of freedom, purpose, passion, power, and peace. All quite suddenly, unexpectedly, and almost miraculously, with no effort on your part. Join Dr. Janet on Dancing with Words, Dancing with Wisdom, as she and her guests show you how words map our experiences, immersing you in a sound bath that relaxes your muscles, opens your mind, and supports you in co-creating your extraordinary life. Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness, Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them. Rediscover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies. Find settings that allow them to be the most productive and track their progress towards accomplishing goals.
Welcome back to Medical Intuitive Insights. I'm your host, Dr. Gloria C. Warren. We have with us our patient, Jeanie, who's asked a very important question for Coach Mike. Coach Mike, go right ahead.
So, Jeannie, you asked about why is it that we sometimes feel we have to win someone else's approval or respect. They enter our lives and pass on others. The thing is, what happens in our early on in our life. I'm sorry, the fire drill here. You can mute me.
Okay,
Maybe while there's a fire, Joe, I can talk about what we were trying to pause on. Is that okay?
go right ahead.
Okay. So I was just saying, as far as the ADHD, I honestly, I feel like I'm one of those people. I'm sober 8 years, just this last
Mhm.
Saturday. I was just a big drinker, but I don't feel like the ADHD is something that I'm like I don't wear it. Like I'm not afraid of it, and I'm also not like I don't need another label for it. It doesn't matter what you call it. You could call it whatever you want. I know who I am because of my sobriety. So I'm very, very self aware. So it doesn't need to be like even examined in that sense. I don't care about what it's called. I know who I am. And I know when I need help taking a test in a room by myself versus taking a test in a room with a bunch of people. And that's why I know I have it. And that's why I'm okay with it. I just need to find what fits best for me.
I think you hit it dead on. It is what's best for you, and you have seem to have analyzed yourself to the nth degree. And I think that is what everybody needs to do personally with this situation. You need to be able to know your limits, and you need to expand your limits too. I expanded my limits. I raised 6 kids, and having all the yelling and
Wow.
screaming and the playing, but I had to work at the same time, so I had to
That's
learn to cut them off. And I remember one time I was working at Abbott, and my office, I always left the door open. It was always loud in the out there. And it was really funny because they came in there one day and say, "How can you concentrate on all this?" And I'm going like crazy in this. I was so focused in what I was doing. You know what I mean? And I'm like, "Oh, that it didn't phase me because I tempered myself over time." So
it's a
my
very
biggest challenge
strange.
was the patience, though.
Yeah, I feel the same way, and I also feel like, when I am in a situation such as, like, in the hospital, or in an emergency, I am the calmest one. But in a situation where it's just fun,
Okay.
I'm literally like, but when I know that it's necessary to be calm, I'm the one calming everyone down. So I don't even I'm like a weird robot that was built, like, the wrong way, but it's also, like, makes for good TV, so here we are.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I get that. Whenever there's any emergency, I don't, I think the analyses, you become an analyst having that problem, and you analyze everything around you, and your mind's going back and forth and bouncing off of this and that, and what you're doing is analyzing. So remember, Coach Mike said that, it's more of a blessing, and you found your niche, and it's as an analyst. I mean, it didn't hurt your IQ, that's for sure. But
Thank
it
you.
just, yeah. Are you kidding with all that school you're doing? But you keep going and you keep going, you keep analyzing yourself. And that's where the true joy comes in. It's knowing more about yourself so you know more about others. It actually will help you to know more about others because sometimes you probably drive yourself crazy. I know I drive
Definitely.
myself crazy.
Yeah, and I feel like and it's funny because I feel like I do work a program of sobriety and and help others in that sense and sorry, it's windy. I don't wanna. Is the sound okay right now?
It's okay. We can,
Okay.
that's fine.
I'm sorry about that. But I do feel like what you just said as far as, like, it helping me knowing yourself allows you to know others is a
Right.
very, very deep feeling
Mm-hmm.
I have because I've had to go through so many things without any sort of escape and face them head on. And so therefore I can see and I've become more of an empath in that sense.
And as an empath and your intellect and your analytical mind caused from probably the outcome of this ADD, look at where you're going in your journey. Your journey is so immense. Look at how many people you're going to be able to help. And
Mhm.
how many nurses have that knowledge you have? They need you in that field for that knowledge to help other people.
Thank you.
It's not a regular field there, and you're going to do great in it. I can tell.
Absolutely.
Really
Thank
proud of
you.
you.
Thank you so much. I haven't heard somebody say I'm really proud of you in a long time because both my parents are dead and I don't talk to my brothers. So I'm just
Yeah,
like an orphan. My kids don't say it. They just give me big hugs and kisses, which I'll take.
take all the hugs and kisses you can get. You deserve them.
I I thank you. I love them too. I love hugs and
Yeah,
kisses from my kids.
yeah.
That's all I need.
So, yeah, there was one thing this morning when I was talking with Coach Mike. We were talking about victim and also communication. So, sometimes the victimhood from having the disposition like you do, you can feel like a victim, but you're really not. You pick and choose. It's you. You have that power, and you can actually choose who you communicate with. Communication isn't it's good.
May I
Some people
may
use
I
it
say
and
yeah, that's a very, very, very valid point because I feel like I used to use my like I used to present myself as a victim when I was drinking, and I felt like that was, like, a very good card to, like, lay down because it made me very, like, emo, and I'm a musician, and, like, "Oh, and, like, we're gonna drink and talk about, like, how big of a victim, but I'm still, like, getting through it." And now it's funny, I said this the other day, I said, "I used to think of myself as a survivor, but now I think of myself as a warrior."
Very
And
good.
for your woman.
Absolutely.
I I am no longer surviving anything, I'm thriving, and I go, "Well, just another just another day in the comedy of errors that is my life, and I will
Yeah,
prevail, and, oh, someone else did something," or it's like I know that nothing there's nothing I have to drink over. There's nothing I have to use a substance over. I've gone through myself and what I needed to do for myself in order to be able to protect myself in that way, and I feel that people are just afraid to look within. So that itself is the reason that so
That's
many
that's
people.
actually encouraging to me
Thank
and a
you.
lot of other people because we all get to choose where we are on a spectrum of survival. Victims, they love to survive. They love to be victims, and sometimes they feel rewarded when people feel sorry for them or are always helping them.
Totally.
Survivors are always looking for the next thing that they're going to survive. So guess what's happening? They got their eyes peeled for things to survive.
Mhm.
Victors, on the other hand, like warriors, are looking at what they're going to overcome because everything that happens makes them a stronger person. Everything that
I
happens
just
to
laugh
them, good
at it
things,
now, to be honest. Yeah.
yeah.
huh?
He read you.
I laugh at it because it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Whenever we have a side conversation, I'll tell you why, but it's just kinda like whatever at this point, you know?
You've
yeah,
mastered your skills though, and I know like Coach Mike gets into these real concrete emotions and everything else. I'm gonna spin it off a little bit. If you did not have this and you didn't have these skills that you built out of this, think of how many people would lose the chance to working with you later that need your
Absolutely.
help.
That's the butterfly
This
effect.
is your
That's the
journey.
butterfly
You
effect.
had to go through it. Not no,
Yes.
there. It's never ending. I mean, with any journey, it's never ending. Unless, of course, you want to end for us, but we don't hope for that. But look at where you come. Look at where you were. Look at where you've come. The alcohol slowed down your brainwave activity, so you felt like you can cope with it better. When in actuality, you were stifling out your gift. a God-given gift that puts you here for a journey, and now you understand it. You're going in the right direction, I feel. And I'm just, like I said, I'm going to say
One thing
time.
I will thank you so much. And one thing I will say that the best thing I've ever heard in a meeting is someone said, "How amazing that we get to do this." And
Yes.
I was like, that is the coolest thing I've ever heard
Yeah.
because I've seen people come in and out of the rooms. I've seen people that don't believe in it. And the people that get to do it are those that believe in the journey, believe in the, God, whatever your higher power is. And you just trust it and you just walk through it and you don't ever go back out. And like, we get to do this. Like, I get to be there for someone when someone wasn't there for me. I get to be that for them. And I get to, my sponsor says, be love. Just be love. Don't give it, just be it and be that example so that others can acknowledge it and hopefully learn and be that also.
That's right. That is so true. Sometimes the people that we admire in our life, we look to them for approval. And it happens, especially as children, because there are so many more people in life that we admire as children. As we grow older, people disappoint us, and our admiration doesn't apply to everyone. They may be the best looking, the wealthiest, or whatever is admirable, but it doesn't happen until you make an assessment, until you acknowledge the full person and decide what part of them are you going to allow into your life. The patterns that we have as children, this goes back to the original question, as children
Yeah.
admiring everybody in a place of authority, it's a pattern that we set that we forget to break. As we become adults, we now have permission and the responsibility to break those old patterns. Now we don't admire everybody. We don't admire every single successful person, or we assess them and make a decision. Am I going to be here for them, or are they going to be here for me, or is it going to be mutual?
I
Well,
like that.
it's that time
Sometimes
again.
there are components to people's character that
Right.
drain us unless we
Yeah.
put ourselves in a giving position. When you're giving, you're not losing. You're giving it willingly. When they take from us, we lose because we
Yeah.
haven't given permission to part with it.
Oh,
I
that's so
I
awesome.
know,
That's
very
awesome.
prophetic. It's that time again. We have to go to another commercial break. We're talking to Coach Mike and Jeanie. They will be here and they will be continuing our discussion, answering questions. Stay right there. We'll be right back.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent, but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of the Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on the Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
Master of words, powerful player. What life-changing words can Dr. Janet Smith Warfield pull out of her magical toolbox that just might mysteriously open a door you never knew was there? A door to free yourself from fear forever. Transform your rage into right action. Release your guilt. Position you into a life of freedom, purpose, passion, power, and peace. All quite suddenly, unexpectedly, and almost miraculously, with no effort on your part. Join Dr. Janet on Dancing with Words, Dancing with Wisdom, as she and her guests show you how words map our experiences, immersing you in a sound bath that relaxes your muscles, opens your mind, and supports you in co-creating your extraordinary life.
Welcome back to Medical Intuitive Insights. We are sitting here with Coach Mike and our patient Jeanie, and we have had a wonderful discussion. So first I'm going to ask Coach Mike, any final words of wisdom that you can give Jeanie and the public out there?
The most important thing I think is that we are in charge of who we are. We are in charge of everything. Stuff happens to everyone. We get to choose. Are we going to be at the effect end of the spectrum, or are we going to be at it cause? It's like being at bat. Like I was talking to Dr. Warren before. When we're at bat, people are going to try to strike us out. When
Mm,
we know they're putting an extra effort into striking us out, that's a compliment because they
mm,
know how tough we are. They know what
I like
what we decide that we're going to take what happens to us and grow from it, let it make us stronger. We stay in charge. We stay at the cause, and we also have the ability to be compassionate in that process. We put ourselves in charge
yeah.
as if we care about what happens to our opponents, what happens to the world. We do it with kindness, we do it with love and respect. And you can't lose doing that.
Makes perfect sense.
I love
And
that.
Jeanie, what was the best thing you can take away today that you noticed that really fits you? I'm sure all of it does, but what sticks with you right now?
What sticks with me right now, first of all, thank you so much for having me on your show, and I do apologize for the wind. And what I've taken is don't do an interview in the wind. And the second is, I really liked honestly what you just said, Coach Mike, about like the challenge of people trying to strike you out. And also, my son is about to walk over here, so we might get, hopefully.
Oh,
Um,
awesome.
but the idea of someone trying to strike you out because they see you as a challenge instead of you viewing them as someone who is, like you feel like less than, as they say, but truly you don't know what they're thinking either. And I like that idea of someone trying to strike you out because they view you as a challenge instead of someone that's weak.
And you are a person who likes challenge, especially because you're a
I do.
runner.
I do.
So, yes, I totally get that in you. It's absolutely wonderful. So, Coach Mike, what would you say? How would you tell people to get a hold of you?
You can reach me on my YouTube channel is Thriving with Coach Mike, Thriving with Coach Mike on YouTube. My website is olcp.life. That stands for Optimal Life Coaching and Practices. .life. I do video conferencing as well, so you don't need to be in my office to get a session. I do hypnosomatic therapy, life coaching, and all of the above. So if you have questions, you ever want to book a session, we can do one online and or over the phone, however you want. Optimal Life Coaching and Practices, OLCP.
Wonderful. I'm sorry. Go ahead. See, I did it too. Go ahead.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It's so fun to interrupt, though. It's fun to interrupt.
Oh
It
God,
is.
no, I do it way too much. My brain just skips to forward, fast
It's okay.
forwards too
What
much.
you have to say is better. It's just science.
Yeah, yeah.
If you're
So,
interrupting someone to give them something awesome, there's no need to be sorry for that. If you're
yeah.
Oh,
interrupting with
no.
gems, there's no need to
Keep
be
telling
sorry for
yourself
that.
that. Yeah, don't be
So
sorry. Just be more interesting. That's it.
that's a
That's
good
right.
way to put it, and I'm sure we very much are. I just wanted to thank you, Jeanie. Thank you so much for coming on my show last minute and doing everything you did. You were so psyched about it, and I was so psyched to have you here, especially with Coach Mike. Thank you so much, Coach Mike.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
You
you
you.
are
both
Awesome
for
having me.
that.
amazing, better than I could
Both of
ever
you are
imagine.
amazing.
The discussions I had with you before the show, I was just jaw dropping, awe inspired, and wow, amazing. Thank you very much, both of you.
Thank
So
you.
today you've seen the medical intuitive reading on Jeanie. We're inviting a few open-hearted individuals to receive an on-air guidance, holistic insight, spiritual healing for free. If you'd like to get a flash mini reading on this show, it is free. There is no upsells for you or anything like that. You can hear Jeanie. It's nothing's going, hey, buy this, buy that. No, this is just straightforward. Please
Actually, I'm
text me.
selling tickets for Nine Inch Nails, so if you want to buy those, you
There you
can.
go.
I'm just kidding.
But I'm not selling you anything really. So, in the mini flash read, 715-892-7500. It just entails some photos. Nobody sees those photos but me. And nothing's really, really confidential, which really helps. So if you need a full reading, you can always contact me. Also, 715-892-7500. Remember, text is best. I do get a lot of texts, so please, it just helps me out, and I do contact people back. The next Life Connect retreat is in December. Topic: youth rejuvenation. Learn about the latest scientific research along with a holistic approach, products, and more. Nothing that any one doctor knows all about. This is a whole conglomerate of things from around the globe. Once again, you can contact me about that, 715-892-7500. And guess what? My new website is going to be up and running by tonight. Oh gosh, if everything, cross my fingers, of course. But it is medicalintuitivegloria.org, O-R-G at the end. And it has everything in it. It's looking great. And I just can't wait for everyone to see it. I thank you, everybody, for coming and joining us today. Please pass on this video if you know anyone that could use some of this wonderful help and assistance, and just make sense of all of this with attention deficit disorder. So God bless everybody. There for the grace of God go I, and may you all have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye.
This has been Medical Intuitive Insights with host Dr. Gloria Warren. Tune in each week as Gloria shares over 40 years of experience and yearns to provide knowledge derived from intuition and research. Wednesdays, 2 p.m. Eastern.